Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about the May 22nd, 2020 new moon in Gemini, part 2 of 2. And first thing I want to talk about, well, as far as this goes, I mean, new moon in Gemini could be very opportune time to find ways to perhaps fine tune learning and speaking abilities, articulating what you want to say, your writing skills, and being more proficient perhaps in those areas. I would expect this could be a very busy time for emails, messaging, drivers on the road. I mean, things that are Gemini related. There might be a lot more errands that people might be doing. And the thing is, too, it's important to look at the aspects it makes to points in one's chart, as of course this could impact the delineation and interpretation. Now, mine is going to make a fairly close trine to my natal Aquarius MC. So this could be very auspicious for perhaps, I mean, given that the new moon in Gemini is in my first house, it could be the start of some just responding quicker to things. Gemini energy could be quick-witted and being about responding quickly to certain things, to communications or what have you. And the fact that it makes that trine to my Aquarius MC, while doing so might very well benefit my reputation as as an astrologer, astrological career perhaps as well, because when you respond quicker to things, of course, it can enhance one's reputation. And the thing about it too is the fact it's in my first house could give me some kind of personal satisfaction and gratification. Now, the next thing up, it's also important to look at the electional aspects it makes, as of course this could impact the delineation and interpretation of it. Now, this new moon in Gemini is going to be making a square to Mars in Pisces, and of course this energy is almost diametrically opposed, because Gemini energy is about a lot of activity, a lot of variety, and then you have this Mars in Pisces is a little bit more lethargic, about more perhaps expending energy and relaxing and loafing. This could be a time for some where there might be a new Gemini like star. It may conflict with some energy that may be tied into fantasizing, daydreaming. You might be trying to, and fighting lethargy may be an issue in terms of trying to start something Gemini related, whether it's something just with communications in general, like satellite data communications, writing, journalism, speaking, or what have you, or something with dexterity, like doing auto refrigeration mechanics. It could also be at a time to keep in mind that the coronavirus is likely still going to be active at this time. And the fact that Mars being in Pisces, this could be a time where you're talking about Mars can be about combat. This could be about trying to combat a disease that can't be eradicated. And people that might be trying to do things, start something Gemini related, may be torn, because they're also dealing with the situation with this coronavirus, which of course, I mean, Mars, I would say, could be about things that are irritating as well, and something that's irritating and exasperating that's tied into this disease, that's connected with the disease that can't be eradicated. And Pisces, of course, can be associated with that. Now, this is as far as Sabian symbols go, this is going to be at 2 degrees Gemini. So the way this may manifest, this could be something where it could be the start of some Gemini art related endeavor, but it might be more specifically tied into something Gemini related, such as something with animated or cartoon art. But at the same time, this could be really a degree that could almost go either way. Well, Gemini energy in general is so dual, it can go either way. But one way this second degree in Gemini can manifest, it could be either starting something, trying to start too many things simultaneously, and one may dissipate themselves through lack of an integrating purpose, or it may go the other way, where one may methodically start to grow something and begin something that could be Gemini related. So anyway, Also, it's important to look at other electional transits at this time, as of course they could be intensified because they're transpiring at the same time as the new moon. Now, you're going to have Mercury making a conjunction to Venus in Gemini at this time now. So this could be about money perhaps made through some kind of writing or communication. If somebody's starting something Gemini related, which of course is indicated by the new moon in Gemini, it might be an opportune and auspicious time for money as well. But it could also be a very positive and beneficial period for articulating feelings very eloquently and having very peaceful communications. It could be talking about manifold subjects. So if it's a time where maybe you were adversarial with somebody and there was some issues with somebody you may have known well, this could be that time where you might be able to start some kind of peaceful communications and speaking with very good diction as well, since we are talking about the zodiac sign Gemini that this will be in. And also too, it could be a time where maybe in some cases people might be talking more openly about being torn between two lovers, so to speak, as the song goes, because Venus in Gemini, of course, it indicates some ambivalence in the love department, and it might be a time where people are coming out more and saying, well, I've been involved with this other person simultaneously, well, I've been involved with this person as well. And it's more a time, well, Gemini energy can't help but talk, so this could be also a time where it's very revealing and people will be more likely to come out with these issues. Or if there's something where maybe somebody might be tied in to maybe being more than one sex, such as bisexual, that could be another thing that may be talked about as well at this time. So because keep in mind that Mars is the planet that people can strongly associate with sex, but Venus is about the sensual side of it, the feminine side of it. So anyway, now, another example I wanted to talk about as far as a house transit, I mean, let's say this falls in one's 12th house in a natal chart. Now, in some isolated cases, this could be maybe the start of some Gemini-like mental illness for some people, I believe, but of course this could be very isolated, and a lot of this could be dependent and predicated on aspects this makes to points in your chart, such as makes an adverse aspect to one's natal third house cusp or one's natal Mercury, as an example. That could reaffirm or reinforce that energy, and maybe some start of some manic depression or something that could be Gemini related. I would even think like attention deficit disorder, because Gemini energy, of course, can have a very hard time staying focused on one particular matter. But it could also be about a start of expressing manifold ways to help those less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the homeless, the oppressed, and the hungry. And also, too, it could be the start too. I mean, being more inquisitive as to what may be going on behind the scenes, so to speak, and in doing so, if you feel, I mean, Gemini energy could be very gossiping, and you might be trying to find out, is somebody gossiping about you or slandering you, somebody that might be posing as a friend but might be actually more of a hidden adversary. Remember, the 12th house is the house of hidden enemies, so this could be a good period for some. If you've been suspicious of some people that were actually posing as friends and they really weren't, and you really don't think they are, and you're skeptical regarding this could be about a time where you could probe a little bit, maybe, and try to weed out these people that might be your friends and the ones that aren't at this time. It could also be the start in some cases of a communication with an aunt or an uncle, or in some cases maybe animated filmography at this time as well. Remember, Gemini energy can be animated. The 12th house is the house of filmography. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.